push me, and then just touch me, till I can get my satisfaction. 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 Satisfaction.
Push me, and then just hurt me, till I can get my satisfaction. 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 Satisfaction.
Welcome to this week's Satisfaction. We're with the lovely Jimon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What's going on here, by the way?
I had a little bit of skin cancer. No, well, what was going to be skin cancer removed. So I had it done yesterday. So I had a couple of stitches in it.
Ouch.
But can you notice it? I've got to go and do a gig in New Zealand. What do you think?
Oh, well, if you're sitting on the back row.
Can you notice it? Can you?
No, I can't see a thing.
Don't zoom in on it. I deliberately tell people that I'm a plastic pommy.
A plastic pommy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was born in England and I went back to Ireland, but everybody wants to be Irish. Get some tits.
Really?
Yeah.
Trying to mimic.
So I think, you know,
So how come
I think English people are lovely people, so I thought, well, I'll just be English.
So whereabouts in England were you born then?
Leamington Spa in Warwickshire.
Okay, and then the rest of your family was all in...
But my mother and father are from Ireland, and then we all went back to Ireland.
Yeah.
After I was one, and then I grew up in Northern Ireland.
So how old were you before you started stand-up?
I was 22.
22.
No, sorry, that's wrong. I was 24. I came to Australia when I was 22, 1988.
Is that where you discovered it then?
Yeah, I was here for 2 years doing construction.
Yep.
Because I was in London for 4 years before that. I went to a polytechnic. I tell people at university, I should come clean with some things, you know. This is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
But the polytechnic is now.
That's it. Really. You come clean in the book.
But the polytechnic is now a university, so I could say it was a university.
Yeah.
And I did this sort of higher national diploma in building. My father's a builder as well, so that's what I did. I'm a qualified quantity surveyor. That's how I got my residency in the country. That's how I was able to stay within Australia.
So you just mainly came over for qualifications then? You weren't even thinking about the comedy thing? Or?
I wasn't thinking about the comedy thing. I wanted to be in a band. I didn't really want to work in the construction industry, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Although, it is. Although having experienced other jobs, it's probably not the worst job in the world. In construction, you can really see what you've done. You can go, I did that.
So do you build
when you do it bad, you go, oh God, I hate that. That's terrible. No, I don't. I sold my tools.
You sold your tools? No skill now? No, you even used? Not even to do a little thing around the home?
Yeah, well, I did buy another set of tools at an auction, but they're all, you know, if you fall away from the hammer, I'm not quick on the draw anymore. I'm rusty.
So
I used to work in a building site where the guy had 2 hammers.
Oh, okay.
Used to pull them out like that.
Ah, so it's about the status of the hammer then?
Yeah, and then you can swing them. With the E-swing hammer, you can swing it like that there, and you can put them back in the holster.
So you came by yourself when you...
Yes.
Yeah, and your other family were all back
yes.
home. So when did they start coming over? Because you've got a brother here and also a sister here. Did you like, I'm in now, you can come and save?
Yeah. Mine was a recce. I did a recce and got the lay of the land. Send them over some satellite layouts. No, I was here a long time before my brother, 7 years, and about 9 years before my sister came. I've been here 17 years.
So what were you doing? I mean, just ringing home all the time saying, man, you guys have got to get over here, it's great.
Well, I did to them, but I don't mind doing it now, but I really kept quiet about Australia. I was never an ambassador for the country.
Oh, okay.
In fact, a lot of the times people have this impression, I think, through the media and through the Pauline Hanson thing. They really highlighted that this woman had the, you know, held the balance of power.
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially in the UK, saw Australia as somewhere like South Africa, real relaxed racism.
Yep.
And as a comic going back there, you've got other comics going, what are you doing living like in this place called South Africa or Australia? And you know, they're really racist over there. And I wouldn't defend it. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't stick up for it. I'd just go, oh, I'm just looking for somewhere else to live.
What satisfied? Coming here tonight, eating free food, drinking nice wine, and catching up with some old mates.
Lovely.
Oh, and being a good dad.
Finding peace and contentment and happiness in myself, and then that's it.
What satisfies me? Playing with my kids, eating good food.
That's a pretty naughty question, is it?
Oh, if you want to go that way.
How you want to take it? What satisfies me? Chocolate.
Chocolate.
What satisfies me? My bathrobe that I was just in, and a box of chocolates.
And how did you fall into the comedic role?
Were you
just funny at work and people go, you're actually quite funny, or how did that happen?
Yeah, but no, not really. No one ever said to me you're funny, but I often found that people would laugh, but especially when I wasn't trying to make people laugh. I was quite quiet. I wasn't like the loud person at school, but I think most people are funny. It's just I was ballsy. I was willing to go through that period of dying and being humiliated. I honestly say that anybody could do stand-up if they're willing to go through that fear factor and humiliation, which takes about a couple of years. That's why people enjoy comedy, because they're able to relate to it. It's not something. It's not something outside their
stories, really, don't you? And so, is your comedy comes from your experiences, or where do you get the material from?
Yeah, for me, really, I'm the fool. I'm the idiot.
Yeah.
No one else is. I'm not a big fan of comedy where people go, I went to such a. Yeah, I'm not into that.
So I'm the idiot. Yourself, and you have that.
And I am the idiot.
Yeah.
So it's always funny when people,
So what was your first? How did you start? Was it like a small comedy, tryout type of thing? How do people get into that role?
Well, this is what you do. If you go to a comedy night, any comedy night anywhere, there's like, if you work backwards, from the end of the night there's a headliner, then there's a middle act, support, and then there's a section at the start where they have a tryout section where anyone can get up. And that's how I started, and that's how most people start.
And the response was really good?
Yeah. I told a couple of jokes. I didn't realise you had to have attitude. I didn't know you had to be edgy. But or have an opinion. I just thought, I'll tell you a couple of jokes. Here's a couple of jokes. And,
remember your first jokes?
I do know a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
Separate to being a comedian, I have a real good memory for jokes.
Yeah.
I have a real backlog, and a lot of jokes I know a lot of people haven't heard.
So you go back to old ones?
Yeah, so I just pulled out these 3 jokes I knew that they hadn't heard.
So how do you judge whether
But then one of them was...
the audience is going to like that, though?
Well, they started laughing when I was telling the first one. I thought they'd heard it before, because they started like, I went, oh, you've heard this one. I sort of stopped telling it, and then they started laughing more. And then I went...
Oh, they haven't heard it.
Oh, yeah. But that was the first time I did it. The second time I did it, I died. Because I put too much thought into it.
I was just over-analysing.
And then was nervous because I'd been in that position where I knew the fear, and there was this light.
You in for a second hit and going, oh shit, he's just bombed out.
Yeah, they don't book you in. You phone up and you put your name down, and you just say, can I get on? Like, there's 7 or 8 people.
So it took you a couple of years before.
And there was, there was Akmal Saleh, there was Peter Berner, but we all started off at the same time.
So would you say you kind of fell into this then?
Very much so, yeah, very much so.
I mean, your headset was building, and then you just kind of went, oh, I'll just do this for a laugh.
No, I used to tell you what I used to do, and it's quite embarrassing, but not really. I used to answer those ads in the back of those, like the Beat magazine for singer wanted for a band.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I would rock up, I just wanted to be in a band. I just didn't really...
Can you sing?
No, not really.
So
that's not here nor there. But yeah, but it was just, and I got up and I'd be all, red in the face, and I'd be all dry in the throat. But I wanted to confront it. This is what I want to do. It
reminds me a bit of this movie that you just recently been doing.
Yeah. But it's true for a lot of people. You just wanted I wanted to do something in life that was a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And one of the guys I went and there was a band called Final Balance, I think they were, and the lead singer Revo, he said to me, you should do stand-up, that's what you want to do. And I was like, I knew who Billy Connolly was. This is how naive I was. I knew who Billy Connolly was, and I knew who Dave Allen was, but I had no understanding that there was a thing where you could go to a pub and people got up and told you. I had no idea that existed. And then we ended up going to this pub one night, the Harold Park in Sydney, and I got up and it went really well. And then once I watched the rest of the night, then I thought I'll turn my mind to this, and I was and I was writing rubbish, and Bob Franklin, I knew, we lived near each other.
Writers? Can you go to writers? I know that industry people would sell.
No, you can't really. Sometimes I have comics who come to friends of mine who go to a gig, and you do a gig, and I do this with them too. I say, when you say that line there, you should try and say that bit. Yeah. That's it. No one can.
The delivery is so important, isn't it? Really.
People can write sketches for you, but they can't write, they can't write stand up.
Stand up. Oh, well, we've got a section we do on the show. It's called the Quick 10. Push. Favorite food?
Indian.
What's something you can't leave the house without?
The keys.
The keys. Pet hate?
Hate's a strong word.
Dislike?
No, I hate the word hate.
You hate the word hate? Yep. What's your worst habit? Go on.
I'm trying to kick it.
You're trying to kick it?
I'm trying to kick it.
We won't go there then.
Yeah.
Favourite thing to do in your pastime?
Read a book.
Read a book? Holiday destination?
Byron Bay.
Byron Bay, yeah, could love that. Favourite comedy?
Favourite comedy?
Yeah.
What, you mean like a film?
Film, whatever.
The Three Fugitives, you ever seen that film?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that film.
Yep. What about favourite actor or comedian?
Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson, I adore Owen Wilson.
And you said
I can't get enough of him. When he comes on screen, I'm like, I really enjoy him.
If there's one law in the world you'd want to change, what would it be?
Gravity?
Gravity? Oh, that could be interesting. That could be really interesting.
I wouldn't I wouldn't take it away totally, but just you lighten it up a touch.
Yeah.
Just so you go around a bit quicker.
Yeah, fly over there.
Yeah.
And a saying? Do you have a saying or motto?
You can't sum up life in a saying.
Can't sum it up in a saying. Well, there you have it. We're going to be back.
That's my saying.
That's your saying. Quote on quote, quote it. We'll be back after the break with more satisfaction.
What satisfies me?
What satisfies me?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting Prozac.
What satisfies you?
Prozac. Have a good night. There are problems. I don't know.
The things I know. And I can get a couple of secrets about you too.
What do you mean? I don't know. Why are you asking me this? I mean, like a deeper thing.
Oh, that's harsh.
Back at the Lincoln King Limo, I'm here with Jimon. We just discussed a bit of the starting blocks of your career, but we're going to go back into the swing of things because you recently just did a movie called The Extra. Ordinary. What's the ordinary bit?
I think that's the reviews you got.
Yeah. Fortune telling coming because you're quite bagged a lot about that movie.
Yeah.
Why do you think that? Were you happy with the result?
I don't, I don't, if you talk about them, you're actually giving them power, but, and in stand-up, I actually moved on from them, but, I feel that the films, a gig, you do a gig and no one really wallows in it, but I did that film, and it took me 5 years, I really,
a lot of writing,
just to get that thing up, and for people to, I think that journalists like to write in extremes. The reality is, it's a good film. I would say it's
great film.
I think it's a very enjoyable film for people. I've watched it with an audience that gets a laugh. So I feel it's really unfair when they take an audience away from it. The bit that killed me was
the movie show really like $3 for instance.
Yeah.
I went to that premiere before yours. I almost fell asleep. I'm sorry, it was the most boring thing I ever saw. It's not at my age group. It was full of old people. Yet they raved about it, and I couldn't see what was so good about it. Yet I had a feeling that they were trying to promote it more, trying to give it the dollar factor more.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, sponsors and stuff like that. And your show came along, and I didn't stop laughing. And I thought, this is a really well-made film. It was finely polished.
Yeah.
I thought it made Melbourne look fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and why aren't we supporting more people making movies in Melbourne?
Yeah, you know, to be perfectly honest with you, Steve, it took the fun out of it for me. It really dampened it for me, and I just was like, and it took an audience away from it as well. I just need to grow up with things again, but it really annoyed me. I just went, oh. But shit happens in life, you know, and it sort of.
Is that going to deter you from doing another movie though?
Well, no, I don't know if it will. It'll make it very hard to get the funding for another film, because it definitely took an audience away from it.
Yeah.
And
you felt the pinch from the negative.
Yeah, it definitely had a real negative. It's all right if one person says it, but for them to go, I feel that the funding bodies really want to promote worthy stories. They don't want to promote comedies.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's hard these days to find a good comedy.
It is, yeah. But you know, that's what I do. That's what I do for a living. I really put a lot. I know, you know. This is something that I do. I'm not trying to rattle, you know, a story about a story. But I do know, you know, I can say that the comedy I do, when people come to my gigs, they get a laugh, and
it's a lot harder to make a comedy by far, and to get people to laugh.
But it's really hard to get a film up. It's really hard to get a film up, and.
Is that because of the funding bodies in Australia, or what?
I think they're clunky things. I think, you know. This is great, you know, what you guys are doing, this is the way it should be, you know, the production values aren't as great, but the urgency's taken off, that you're more likely to get an honest confession from me or any other person you're interviewing, because no one is putting any pressure on it, and therefore you get a product that, forget the quality, maybe forget the lights, but you're going to get a more honest confession, whereas everyone puts this pressure on this film that comes along, and you know, because it's shot on film, on celluloid, and cost so much money, but at the end of the day, they're just yarns. They're little simple stories. You know, they're not the be and end all of everyone.
So how does this affect? Okay, the movie's going to finish. Would probably finish earlier than expected, or does the company make the money back on that?
You know,
like, how do your investors work? Well, you know, it almost went straight to DVD, for instance.
Well, lots of. Do you know what? All films go straight to DVD. When The Crack came out, it's a year and a half before they go to DVD.
Yep.
Whereas they've done this thing where they cash in on a film being released, on the publicity that's involved with the release of the film. So it comes out like 3 months afterwards. People have these big plasma screens.
Yeah.
There hasn't been an Australian hit since, you know, I don't know, 3 or 4 years of films where they're trying to get them going. So I can understand the tact of them wanting to make different films that are more, you know, worthy to Australian people, but I just find it really difficult when they out and out condemn something the way in which they did my film. Like, it was hurtful. It really was. That's the truth. I'll toughen up. You know what? That's what's funny. See, that's why I'm the fool.
Yeah.
I told a friend of mine that he could not stop laughing. He goes, sorry mate, but it's just hilarious. And he just thought, I goes, look, honestly, it's not funny just yet for me, because it's just happened.
You'll find a way to bounce back.
I will.
I know. You'll throw it into a comedy sketch, and you'll make them the fools in the end.
Yeah, but you know, I don't want to make anyone the fools. I just want things, especially things that are. This is also true of other comedians starting off. I love the comedy festival because people go and see stuff that they haven't, like, they're not people from TV. They'll just give something to go because that's the environment that the comedy festival has created in Melbourne.
Yeah.
I would like people to do that in general. I think that's the basis of urban decay. If people will only go and see the big stars, only go and see the, you know, the big blockbusters. Give something to go, you know.
Support the local market.
Yeah.
And I think you supported it with the film, so
yeah.
that's the hard thing.
My satisfaction. 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 Satisfaction.
What satisfies me? In what way? Sleep?
Anyway.
Sleep satisfies me.
That's probably good.
A lacking of, so.
Basically just, seeing people enjoying what I'm doing and
And that we do.
oh, thank you.
What satisfies you?
I made that myself.
You did it.
What satisfies me? Love. Yes. What a corny answer.
Oh, I think that's beautiful. What else should satisfy anyone?
Yes.
Personally?
Oh, well, any way you want to take that.
Oh, look, a good night out with friends tonight. That satisfies me. Yeah.
Satisfying. Well, enjoy the night.
What satisfies me? Jazz music and naked geisha girls. Oh, hang on. Did I say that?
Yeah, did that one slip out? Well, enjoy.
I want to know about love.
Love.
Love. Your wife.
What part of it?
Well, how did you meet?
Catherine and I met at the comedy club in Carlton. She sold tickets at the door.
Oh, there you go. Picking up the door girl.
And follow the path of least resistance. And I think maybe about 12 years ago.
Yeah. So what was it? When did you know? Was it the first sort of scene, or?
I've been with a few ball breakers before that, and that really sort of, at the end of the day, you need someone you can get on really well with, and what I do as a job isn't a really, and she understood what I did as a job, and it was at a time when it was really taking off, and I'd be away a lot of the time, and.
You're everywhere. You go back overseas to do festivals, Edinburgh Festival and so forth.
But on the road, when I go overseas, Catherine would come with me, but she just was
She your support.
Yeah. Use your soul body. When you find it really is hard to find someone when you click with them that level. I think that pillow talk is the key to it, isn't it? That's when you really know when you meet someone, and then you can have you're not trying to get away from them after you slept with them. Do the big bolt. I was really enjoying.
I was waiting.
But I'm one of those Irish people that never really sort of talks about those things. I talk about it in my act now, but I talk about when you row with your partner, because it's almost like we row with each other like two friends. We shout at each other in the car. What are you talking about? You shut your mouth. But that's all part of relationships, and
because English aren't really known for talking. Is Irish the same? Do you adapt the same? Australians talk about anything, and they're quite open as people.
Yeah. I think I like talking about those. I like finding a subject matter in stand-up that I feel no one else has really covered, and I like talking about those things because I feel that love songs, love movies, poetry has a lot to answer for. Love songs are the cause of so many broken relationships. The expectation from a relationship that this is what love is supposed to be. If it doesn't fulfill that, then this isn't the right person. But the reality is, you go through this period with someone, and you really settle into that falling in love period, that dizzy period. That's a short period of time, and then you get into a relationship with someone, and no one covers that in a love song. That's not a love song, I suppose. But
the long hard road, I guess. That's a bit of a long song.
Yes, I suppose there is, but I've not really. I was never really clicking into them. There's this.
Maybe we've bypassed it because we're still feeling for the wow factor.
Yeah. There's so much fun in the wow factor.
When you do fall in love and you turn on the radio, you relate to every single song all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But once you finish being in love and you're at the normal long running road, everything else just tunes out.
Yeah.
And then when you break up, every song becomes relevant too. It's like, damn, they're singing about me.
I know.
Why is that? I guess it's that stretch that we don't really listen much for.
There should be a channel for people in that. Long and windy.
23 long year relationship.
Yes.
Listen to these songs only. Wouldn't that be Mix or Gold FM or something?
But within that long and windy road, there's beautiful moments.
Yes, there are.
I'm always in the most romantic places on my own. I always think, oh, geez, even Catherine love this.
Are you a romantic at heart? Do you do silly things still?
No,
Oh,
but I shouldn't I?
Exactly, that's the key, to do those wonderful things in the middle of that long road. You got to go out and stop and pick some roses before we get home.
Yes, yes.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being in the back of the limo.
Steve,
Joy.
it's been a pleasure.
And opening up and sharing those things that you don't normally do with a normal network.
Yes.
Here's a scoop. It'll be in the paper tomorrow. Jimon tells all. Thanks very much for watching Satisfaction. Stay tuned next week.
Wicked.
You're not recording yet.
Yeah, I am. Do you want me to turn it off?
Yeah, turn it off.
Do you want me to? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, they're up, but just like a bit of light for you, a bit of mural.
You get more light off these.
Yeah, you can look at yourself.
Turn these on too.
Yeah, we'll keep you lighted. The spotlight's on you.
And I've got to light the phone.
Oh, is it a phone? It's a camera.
It's a camera phone. But
Camera phone, latest technology. So tell me, okay, you're in Australia. How many?
That's what this show on Channel 31's been done.
I'm one of them. Live stream.
Yeah, it's Channel 31. Welcome to the show.
That quality here. We're not that good. We don't have, can't afford expensive equipment like that.
No,
Handy.